Welcome back to New York City Gardener. I'm Nastasha. I think it is finally time to plant all of my warm weather seedlings and overwintered peppers into the soil. We should have nighttime temperatures always above 55 degrees from now until the fall. So it's finally time to get everything into the ground. I don't have to keep bringing things inside anymore. So that's what I'm gonna get done. I have 12 varieties of tomatoes that I wanna make sure that I get planted. I have obviously too many of them, so I'll be giving some of them away. And then I have 7 peppers that I overwintered that it's just time to get them into bigger containers. These were just containers that were gonna last them through the winter. And I already have some peppers. Oh my God, I have to show you. Okay, we already have peppers. It's May and we already have peppers. This is absolutely incredible. These are Calabrian chilies. I'm pretty sure I have Calabrians here. It's interesting because they kind of look like habaneros, but maybe it's just because they're small. Could have been mislabeled, but anyway, already have some peppers coming. We have a good amount of flowers and buds here. So this is the benefit of overwintering your peppers because you don't normally get peppers this early. So here is an example of peppers that I started this year, and you can see they're just not as big. They just don't have the time to get big enough. This is why it's such a good idea to overwinter your peppers, because look at how much bigger they are. Let's do a little side-by-side comparison with the peppers that I started from seed this year versus the ones I've kept alive during the winter. I mean, it's a major difference in how quickly you get peppers during the growing season, especially in New York City. I mean, this is wild. It's May and I can't believe I have peppers growing. Let's get these into containers. Now, these are contraptions that they use when they need to wash the windows of the building, and they only do that every 2 years. So since it's never being used, I have a cute little pot in it. I have 4 of these, so 4 of the peppers will go into these pots. Then I have these trash cans, which I got at IKEA over the winter. They were $1 a piece, and when I saw them, I just knew they would be great for growing peppers in the summer. So I'm guessing they're probably 3 to 5 gallons, and a 3 to 5 gallon container is a great size for growing peppers when you have limited space. And since we have 7 large peppers, then I'm gonna put them in these. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 5, 6, 7. And then for these, some of these are duplicates, and oh no, I think this one might be dead, but there looks like there might be some life. Okay. And oh, there's a teenager ladybug. Look at that, how cute. That's a very good sign. We love to see these because they eat aphids. That is a very, very, very good sign. I've been seeing them all over the garden, but it's great to see them on the peppers because that's where I tend to get a lot of aphids. Now, the issue with my smaller peppers is that I don't have enough of these containers to plant them because I have at least 12 peppers that I started from seed this year, and I do not have 12 containers. I mean, it's always a compromise when you have a rooftop garden and you don't have an infinite amount of land or even an acre. I mean, this is only a 500 square foot terrace, and then I don't know, maybe 100 square foot of it is actually being used as a garden. So it's one of those issues that I'm constantly dealing with, but I'm gonna figure something out. All right, so we have 4 of the same container to start with. There's a lot of edible flowers in here. That's a bachelor button, Johnny jump ups. And this is a beautiful plant that I just have a ton of. And I bought it one time several years ago, and it just propagates itself everywhere, just kind of takes over. So I'm gonna transplant those out of here as well. Then I have 5 peppers here. That one is a bird's eye chili, a jalapeno, a Calabrian chili, and then I have another bird's eye chili. So I'm gonna start with those. And some fertilizer because I've had these containers for a long time and the soil is definitely older, so I wanna make sure there's plenty of nutrients in there. And of course, we'll add compost and we'll top it off with worm castings as always. All right, if we look at this soil, it's a bit compacted, which is not great, but I can still make it work. We're gonna leave this because that's a Johnny Jump Up, which is an edible flower. They have a shallow root system, so I'm not worried about that. But let's loosen up the soil. I've had a lot of things growing in these containers over the last few years, and honestly, I probably should replace the soil, but for now, I took out as much as I could. I moved it to one of the other containers that we're gonna be putting a pepper in. So, and then that way I can spread the older soil among the 7 containers. And then of course we're gonna amend it with compost and worm castings. And I also have the soil from the bags that they're currently in, which when I started the overwintering process last fall, I used newer potting soil. And so that should be a nice mixture from the older soil, the newer soil, and the amendments. Now onto this one, we have a bunch of bachelor buttons to take out. I'll probably leave the Johnny Jump Ups. And this looks like a strawberry, but I'm pretty sure it's a weed. And we have a poppy here. I'll leave that because they don't really last that long anyway. All right, so let's make some space for the peppers. I have most of the plants out of the middle section, and I found another bachelor button. I'm gonna transplant all of these bachelor buttons into another container. Okay, here we go. That was a bit more complicated than I expected. There was a weed in this one that had a huge root system that took up almost the entire pot, so I had to get that out of there. This soil looks the most depleted to me, but the other 3 look okay. But I'm gonna amend it all, and I think after I do that, the peppers are all gonna be fine. I'm adding a scoop of organic fertilizer to each container, which I got from Farm Daddy. It's my new self-watering planter that I got this year, and I have been loving it. It's my new favorite planter. Okay, so let's mix this up a little bit. Looks great. Okay, you can see I'm in another outfit now, and that is because while I was in the middle of potting up my peppers, my camera and my storage just went haywire and I could not do any more filming. So I decided to take the rest of the day and just try to get everything organized again. Then we had 2 or 3 days of really cold and wet weather, and I definitely couldn't do anything out here during that time. Finally, we have a nice, beautiful day again. I believe we're in the 70s today, and it feels so good being out here. So I want to get back on course of getting more of my warm weather crops into the soil. So let's get back to it. All right, so I took the liberty to go ahead and place the peppers back where I wanted them. So you can see how it's sort of lifted up here. So I have 1 pepper here. We have the jalapeno pepper. I have a sweet pepper here, and then I have another one here hiding behind my raspberry plant. So we have this one, and then these are my other 3 that I put into different containers. So now I have all 7 in the containers that I want them to be in for the rest of the summer. Now I've been thinking about where I wanted to put all of these peppers because there's at least 12 here, if not more. And so I have an idea. I don't really have the space for them, to be honest, and I don't have enough soil for them. So I was thinking about it, and I think they should actually go in this planter this year. I'm going to attempt to put all 12 peppers in here, and it's just gonna be an experiment to see what happens. This is definitely not big enough to house all of these peppers, but I'll tell you why I'm gonna do it. My original plan was to have beans in this container, but last year my main crop in this container were turnips. I also had lettuce, I also had beets in here, but the main crop that I had in this soil were turnips. And I'm doing my best to crop rotate. Now, it's very difficult when you have a container garden. It's much easier if you have the land. I'm just trying my best to do crop rotation. So the crops that should really be going in after turnips would be the nightshades, like tomatoes, peppers, squash, cucumbers. But if you look at the way this planter is set up, I could grow tomatoes in here. And I think my very first year I did 2 tomatoes. But you know, it's would be very tall. You know, the tomato plants would probably get up here, and then we get so much wind that I don't really want tomatoes in that planter. I don't want to do cucumbers either because the same thing. They need a trellis, they need support, and it's just kind of too high already. So I don't really want to do that either. Squash is the same issue. They get so big, it would be hanging over, and you can see that our couch is right here. And I need to be able to have space to walk behind the couch. And if there's a cucumber right here or a squash right here, just like hanging over, I'm not going to be able to get through. So that's why I was thinking, why don't we do the peppers? I already have 7 other pepper plants. I'm gonna be getting plenty of peppers this year. So I'm not really stressed about not having enough peppers. I just wanna make sure I'm getting the most use of all of my containers. And I wanna have variety. So even though these plants won't be able to get as big as, let's say, these, because there'll be too many of them in a bigger container, but at least I'll get a little bit more variety. So that is gonna be my game plan. And then I'm also thinking, so for next year, I can overwinter these, and then next year they could be bigger. I could potentially have more containers. I could give them away, whatever. So let's do it. Okay, so you can see I have really nice root ball here. Just putting it there right in the hole, and then the label, so I remember what I planted where. Okay, now we're just gonna give everything a really good watering. Make sure everybody is nicely settled in. So we have the habanada, we have Jimmy Nardello, shishito, which I'm not 100% sure how well the shishito is doing, but we're gonna keep trying. We have another habanada here. That's the most important new pepper that I'm growing this year. We have sweet pepper, California Wonder it's called, 3rd habanada pepper. So surely between the 3 plants, I can get something. And these all nicely watered. We have a cayenne purple pepper. Here we have a sweet pepper California Wonder. This one is a dottle? What do you think? Dottle pepper? I'm not sure how you say that, but anyway, I got these seeds for free, so I just thought it'd be fun to try it out. We have a sweet pepper lemon dream. This one is a shishito. And then we have our last shishito. Where is it? Here it is. Great. So yeah, now that I have all 12 peppers in here, I ended up with 2 extras, which those I'm definitely gonna give to somebody because I think 12 is already pushing it. But we're gonna see how many peppers we actually get, how many make it through the transplant. And then again, I'll start harvesting more of this lettuce so that we can make sure that each of these peppers has enough sunlight to grow. Okay, so now I have all of my peppers, sweet peppers, hot peppers, everything is officially in the soil. So that is pretty much done. Now we just need to wait for peppers. It's pretty easy. All right, so here's the next step. I want to plant a bunch of seeds. These are all warm weather crops that just need to be direct sown. So we have 4 different types of beans. We have Royal Burgundy bush bean. We have the Blue Lake 274 bush bean. We have a Cherokee wax bush bean, and then we have red noodle pole bean. So I'm going to be planting all of those today. Also, I'm going to be planting butterfly pea, which if you're not sure what that is, it's a type of pea that it's a blue flower, and so you can use it for like a natural food dye. So that'll be fun for my partner who's a chef. He always appreciates those types of things. And so those are the seeds. We're gonna be planting those today. And normally peas are cool weather crops, but butterfly pea is a warm weather crop. So that's why we're planting it now. Going to be doing miniature blue popcorn. So I'm going to be getting that into its own grow bag today. A sugar pie pumpkin, very excited about that. A sugar baby watermelon, very excited about that. And then a Minnesota midget cantaloupe. These are old names, so don't get offended. All right, so these are the things I want to get in the soil as fast as possible, so they have plenty of time. I already have a neighbor who wants one of these watermelons, and I'm probably going to only end up with like 2 or 3, but he's such a good neighbor, I want to give it to him anyway. But it'd be fun, because I've never grown any of these. I did grow some beans last year, but it was like 1 plant and I didn't really get much out of it, but I want to be growing a lot of beans this year. Also with crop rotation, there's some containers that need a break from a lot of the nightshades and cucumbers and all the heavy feeders. So that's why I want to give them a break with some of these beans and peas. That's why we're growing a lot of them this year. All right. Let's just get to it. So the corn is going to be planted in this 20-gallon container. I currently have lettuce in there. So once that lettuce is harvested, I'll probably get that harvested semi-soon. We're starting to get really warm weather, and these aren't as big as I would have liked them to have grown, but I'll still give them more time to keep going. Then I have my 12 corn here. So we're gonna go ahead and plant them in there. And with corn, you're supposed to plant them in a circle. Again, this is my first year growing corn, so you have to tell me what you think. If you've ever grown corn before, how would you do it differently? Let me know in the comments, because I think that looks cool. Is that too close together? Is that not close enough together? I know they're supposed to be semi-close together so that they can pollinate each other with the wind. So this is very exciting. I've never grown corn before, but this is the year to do it. Get them all in there. Here. This is a blue popcorn. Probably should just get like a few kernels, but it'll be just fun to experiment, see what I can get. All right, let's get them watered. I think potentially why this lettuce is not getting very big is that because it's a grow bag, it's drying out very quickly. Even though I'm out here watering it every day, I have a feeling I'm not watering it enough. So, you live and you learn. But now that I have this popcorn in here, I know I'll probably be downsing it every day. Now this is the container where we're going to be putting the pole beans and the butterfly pea. You see I already have the trellis there with peas growing. These peas are going to be taken out in, I don't know, 2 or 3 months. So I'm going to go ahead and start these seeds now. And then by the time those are taken out, these should already be sprouted and start going along the trellis here. So the plan is to do 6 of the butterfly pea and 24 of the bush beans. The pole beans. I don't know if I have 24 seeds here, so I'll just do what I can. Maybe 24. We'll see. So I'm just going to equally space them out. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I guess 3 per, and then make sure I have 24 here first. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, I definitely have 24. All right. So we'll do 3 each, and then I'm probably going to thin them out to fewer plants, but at least we can get them started. Another borage. Okay. We don't need 50 billion borage in here. Okay. All right, yeah, definitely. I probably have 30, 35 here, so. So now we have 6, and we have 8 here, so I guess we'll do, 2 on the edges and then 2 in the middle. Okay, here's the game plan. We have 3 25-gallon containers. 2 of them already have lettuce in there, and I have enough soil in there. This one really needs 1 more bag of soil. So the plan is I'm gonna go ahead and plant 2 of these directly in the soil today, and the 3rd one is gonna go in this container. What I'm thinking is this will be like kind of a seed starting type thing. Just keep it in there for a week or 2, and then it'll eventually go into that bigger container once I have more soil. You notice the theme here. If I have to pick one that I'm gonna put into the container, it's gonna be the cantaloupe. The watermelon and the pumpkin are my priority. So let's go ahead and get the watermelon and the pumpkin in here. This is going to act as a trellis. It's just an old shelving unit that we don't use anymore, so it's now a trellis. So that's gonna be fun to see how that goes this year. I'm gonna start with 4 seeds, and we will end up with 1 plant. So that'll be the watermelon, the pumpkins here. There's not as many seeds in here, so I think I'll do 3. Actually, I think I'm gonna put it kind of in the back of the container. So it starts kind of maybe going back that way. And again, we'll just end up with 1 plant. This is going to be the container for the cantaloupe, but since we don't have enough soil, we're just gonna start it in here, and then we'll get there. I think that's a great stopping point for today. I still have more bush beans to plant in 2 containers, and I have my tomatoes. Those are 2 very important things I need to get accomplished, but I can work on that in the morning. Yeah, I think that's pretty much all I want to get done for today. If you have any questions, feel free to comment below. Such a small channel, so I see every single comment and I will answer everything. And if you have any questions about any containers I'm using, soil, seeds, anything like that, just feel free to ask those questions below. I'll also link everything that you see in the video. I try to always link those in the description, so that way if you like a planter or a plant or something, you can go on Amazon and you can find that and get that for yourself. This is a very small channel, just getting started, and so when you buy something on Amazon, it's very helpful because it helps me pay for certain things that go along with starting a YouTube channel. So very much appreciative of that. It's just a small commission, but all these little small commissions add up and allow me to continue doing this and continue filming. So yeah, if you have any questions, feel free to comment below, and I'll see you on the next one.